The name of our church is EndYAWSchurch, and you may be wondering why that's the name of our church. Well, it's been recently, in the last few years, we renamed the church with that, although the other church still continues, because we have the intention to end this disease and wipe it off the face of the earth. And if you want to help us to do that, then become involved and love us and be our friend. YAWS is a disease. That's what a person looked like who had YAWS. These are other persons who had YAWS, and that's what they looked like. There's according to the Center for Disease Control, the National Institute of Health, and the United Nations, there could be 200,000 to 500,000 people still on the earth today with this disease. Where they live is a place where there's no penicillin. This person was alive when this picture was taken. We got that off the internet. Let's end this YAWS disease. One shot of penicillin 20 years before this person's picture was taken. They were alive when it was taken, I understand. Years ago would have stopped this horror. In other words, YAWS is a disease that you get by touching another person who has it. Any place where there's penicillin used, this disease has gone off the face of the earth. That's a good 80, 90 years since it's been all over, and there's no cure for it. The only treatment when they came up with penicillin is that if you give someone who has YAWS a shot of penicillin, it will stop getting worse, and they won't when it affects them, that helps them, then they won't pass it on to anyone else. So where is there YAWS? In little places that are separated from civilization in any great way. Places in Ghana where in Accra no one heard of YAWS, or a few did, most didn't. But if you go to northern Ghana, there's maybe 80,000 persons. Maybe there's more, maybe there's less. They did, within the last 8 years, come up with a way to use the pills of penicillin to end the disease, and that's a good thing. And listen, we think that many people take advantage of the idea of the poor and charity to get themselves wealthy, to live their lives wonderful, and yet there are still these persons. How many people? 100,000? 200,000? One? How many persons on the earth have this disease called YAWS? And they have no medicine, no penicillin, no doctors, no hope. Imagine the pain. And all the trillions of dollars we spend in the United Nations in the last 50 years, and all these other things we do, we can't get pills, a week's supply of pills to 100, 200,000 people, 500,000 persons. We can go with our army and destroy the world and do everything we want to do, but there's these persons going to sleep every night wondering if there's a God, wondering how it can be that they could have this terrible disease. And they can't even get aspirin. So listen, now the purpose of our church is intending to see to it that this disease ends, and we're all very poor. I'm poor. But with the help of others who are poor like us, we're going to end this disease. That's why we have a political part of our organization too. There's no poor persons involved in politics anywhere in the world. Poor people aren't elected to office. Only rich people pretend, mostly liberals, pretend they're caring about the poor, but they get wealthy doing it. And then there are Republicans, there are some rich people, Republicans, not all of them, half of them are like the Democrats. But there are some rich people who realize this is wrong and want it to end. And there's different reasons why it hasn't been gotten rid of that have to be dealt with. But the real reason it hasn't gotten get rid of is because in the 50s they found out that penicillin ends it, and all the white people in the world were given penicillin and had it in their lives, and they don't have it anymore. And then half the Spanish people and a lot of Africa, most of the got this penicillin, and they cured it. And then they felt, oh, well, it's done enough, we'll stop. When there were still black people and poor people and Spanish people having it, then they didn't bother to continue the zeal to end the disease, though it's still around. But we're going to get the zeal, and we're going to end it. Please join us. Please pass this around. Please become a member. We don't need your money. We need your love and your friendship.